right. Okay, guys, welcome to our call, our Thursday night call. Let me mute everybody because I don't have everybody muted yet. Yes. All right. So actually, you can see that Lisa and Julie are on there. We are actually like maybe 10 yards apart, 20 yards apart. So we are actually decided to stay here in Colorado instead of going back home. We'd be home right now, but I know Julie's really hating it that Lisa and her are out there together. And hey, Beth. And so we are actually in Colorado, actually, which is actually been a lot of fun and been a lot of just, we realized that, we are right where we're supposed to be, right? And God's plans are better than our plans. And so I wanted to just touch base with you guys on a couple things. I know today is the 1st, but if you guys have stuff that needs to be backdated, we're going to be able to do it until the 3rd. So don't go through corporate. Just call Lisa and I. Guys, go back and check your customers, all right? There was a lot of credit cards from what I read on one of the elite pages, that there was a lot of people's credit cards that didn't go through, the most they've had in a long time. So it must have been the date of August that was a large amount of credit cards that people weren't charged. So, and guys, it's your business. It's your responsibility to check your customers and your downline. To check your downline. We do it all the time. We have thousands of customers, right? And it's important because you guys know that there's a lot of people that do sign people up. They don't educate them. They don't put them in our Facebook group. Guys, and that's one thing I wanted to encourage you about. I had 3 messages this week of people that said one of the most important things, and these are people who've never really done a lot with their business. Some have been in for a long time and are now doing stuff with their business now. They said the biohacking product and insight group is what got them back going to where they go. So Lisa is probably whispering to Julia, but I can't figure out what she's saying. So it's all good, right? But
I actually said I have to plug in my computer. I only had 27%. That's why I grabbed hers. But it was irrelevant.
Okay. All right.
We don't want Mr. Huey to feel left out.
All right. So, guys, then that's what I want to tell you. And I want to encourage your guys' teams. Have you guys noticed that when we started this study, there was close to over 30 people here? Now today there's 10. That's on us too. We have to be able to encourage people the importance of these calls. I'm going to tell you something. Tracy says that she didn't do good last week. Well, I went back and watched the call. I thought it was great. I don't really care what other people say. What I say and what I do on here is because I'm here and I want to serve and I want to help others and I want to bless others. I take away from it what I put into it, right? If I don't read the book, if I don't go back and listen and take the notes and I don't do the stuff, then I don't get anything out of it. I just show up because, oh, hey, we have a team call. You know what? I said this to my wife on the airplane. I want to create our own 20 to 30 people that are on these calls every single week. I had 5 text messages of people texting and saying, hey, this came up. Hey, this came up. Hey, this came up. Well, I said to Lisa, we could always use an excuse that we're stuck in Denver or whatever it is. We always find a time, sometime, even if we have to move it, to have this call because we feel it's important, right? And it encouraged me, like when I see Lisa and Julia together, like obviously because we're in the same state, but I watched them, going back over notes today and re-listening to the video and making sure they had everything right so that they could do it again. And I know that Julia was supposed to share a long time ago and they had kind of a mess up, but you know what? That's how this works. We all learn and grow. And we laugh and we get to just do the perfect timing of what we're supposed to do. So same thing with your registrations for events. Guys, some of you know you're supposed to go to the Cancun trip and some of you didn't even register. Some of you know that you could use that as your vacation for 2020, and you still didn't register because it's your level of belief. Like, I'll be honest with you. Lisa and I looked at each other and said, we don't have the money to do it because we have all our money tied up in real estate and some other stuff. We didn't have money to do it, but we did it anyway, right? And when I say that, I mean it. Like, I mean it, right? So you guys know that vulnerability is the number one thing that will push you in. I was re-listening with Julia and Lisa as they were going through what John was saying. And he was saying that, you know, a lot of people that are in network marketing, and he'll meet them later on in his life and talk about the importance that network marketing has had in their personal development and their growth and who they are as a person. Because you know what? They never quit. They were committed to something. They were committed to a Sunday night call, or they were committed to a weekly meeting. You know, like we are here in town, and our friends Dave and Joanne Madison decided to throw a potluck tomorrow and do a meeting tomorrow night. Those are the things that leaders do. They take initiative. They do things that other people don't do. Just like taking one of these things. I can promise you that, and we just heard it before, I can promise you that, like, it was good that Tracy said, hey, hold Julia's hand, right? Lisa, hold Julia's hand, because, you know, two of my best friends in the world can hold hands in the same facility that we're at, and I know that will allow Julia to do better, you know. And I always, whenever I look at that type of stuff, I always say, I look at, and we the three of us do, is that the Bible says two are better than one, right? When one falls down, or when one's nervous, or when one feels like they're incapable, they have a friend that sticks closer than a brother that encourages them, just like Lisa did for 8 years of doing this before Julia joined this company. And guys, you guys have a lot of your friends that you haven't built relationships with, and maybe they said no to you, and it put some strife into you. Go back and just love on them. I'm doing my slides for building depth next week, and eventually I'm going to go over these with some of you guys, because I just spent an hour and a half doing this, and I learned things that I'm going to do that my buddy Mark, and guys, let me encourage you on this, and I hope that all of you are listening. You can learn, and never take action on stuff. What I just put into these slides, I took a course from LinkedIn about how to build your relationships on LinkedIn, because Microsoft bought LinkedIn and it's exploding now, okay? It's exploding, and it's the best way to build relationships. So a lot of times over Facebook, okay? And let me tell you something. I just learned something that I'm implementing tomorrow, okay? I just learned something that I'm going to teach that I learned from my friend Mark Donegan months ago, that he got on Zoom and went over, and I never implemented it. You know who that looks bad upon? Me, not Mark. Mark did what he said, and then I went back and learned some of the stuff today and added some stuff to it, and I'm like, man, you're not a leader. You're not a leader. You learn and learn and learn, but you never take steps on stuff. It's just like it's like having somebody come to town, a leader come to town, and you know you guys are going to do a meeting, but you don't take any guests. You don't go and pick people up and take them with you. Or your friends come in town and you're spending time with them and you don't put anybody in front of them. Heck, I'll just say this. Julia and Lisa put me in front of somebody today at church after a gathering. Guy watched the ABC prime time right in front of us. And then I answered a couple of his questions, encouraged him, asked him what he liked best about it. We went back and forth for about 15 minutes. And then we got him. He said, hey, look, I really want to know more about this, but I can't do this without my wife. And I commended him on it. I'm like, perfect, right? I'm not going to take you any farther than what you feel comfortable doing. I said, let me ask you a question. Are you interested in learning more? He said, absolutely. Found out he was unemployed, that he worked for what was that? Oracle, right. And they cut back and they eliminated his position. And he's like, I don't know what I want to do. And I was like, well, how did that feel? And he said, it didn't feel good, right? And so I created a conversation with him that's now going to lead to the next step. We're inviting him to tomorrow's meeting, and then we'll invite him to another meeting, and then Julia can go and meet with him, or I can meet with him this week. It's step by step, you planning out how you take. And guys, I can just tell you this, Lisa and I are in the toughest season of our life with both of our businesses because of how busy it is. We're remodeling our house, right? When we get back, we go back home to a mattress on the floor. I feel like we're in bachelor mode again, right? Like the guy who just has his furniture and he throws his bed on the floor and lives, right? So, but I just want to encourage you guys that there's nothing that you can't do if you put your mind to it. Guys, this company is growing. Now, if you see the stocks going back up again, it was at $10. It's back up to $12. It was even high when the market was drastically down. Okay, the Wall Street educator said that eventually it's going to be a $51 stock. What does that tell you for our company? That we're going to be $1 billion company, right? And I can just tell you this: you guys need to start this week preparing your people that are your customers for this new product that's coming. People, when they're running out of the product, are not feeling the same as when they have the product. So you guys need to start preparing people for this. Guys, this is going to be a pro tandem-like product. All right? And I'm not going to say anything else. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to turn this over to Lisa, and then Lisa's going to introduce Julia, and they're going to do the thing for you guys tonight. Guys, it doesn't matter where you're at in life. You know, a lot of people start diets, right? And it lasts maybe 14 or 21 days. Or 14 days, and they never make it to 21 days, right? They'll start losing weight, and they'll realize, oh gosh, I need accountability. Oh, well, I don't go on Sunday night calls. How am I going to have accountability? You be on Sunday night calls. Oh, I had a coach, but I couldn't afford it. But then I gained all my weight back, and then I go and try to hire another coach, and it becomes insanity. So all you guys have to do is tie into the system. Do 15 presentations a month or more, and treat this like a business. So I just want to encourage you guys a little bit tonight. I'm actually going to turn it over to my amazing wife. So I'm going to unmute them. Wait a minute. Go, babe. It's all yours.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me now? Awesome. Before we jump into the lesson, I do have a couple more announcements I want to throw in now, because then once we get talking about this, I know it'll be a little bit more interactive. I want to congratulate Fred and Beth Balk for actually hitting Pro 3. Yay, you guys, we're so proud of you. That's awesome. My husband already mentioned about, because of the Ireland incentive trip, they are going to allow back dates for August up until September 3rd. I put all the details actually on our Freedom Fighters as well as the Northwest Ohio Facebook group, so you can just grab them from there. With tomorrow being a holiday, a lot of people probably have get-togethers, barbecues, picnics, families, friends, whatever. Use that as a great opportunity, especially with those if you haven't seen in a while. You know, hey, what's going on? What's new? Your perfect response, worded in your choice of words, but something along the lines of, hey, I found a product that Washington State says it slows down aging and delays disease, and I'm getting paid to learn more about it and teach others. Would you want to sit down and get some more information later? Not right then and there, but later. Set up that appointment. Use that as an opportunity to connect with people. And we also do need a volunteer to do next week's teaching. And next week is going to be on the the second power of connecting from John Maxwell. So if somebody would like to go ahead and volunteer to, do the homework, as we all call it, just type in the chat box either to everybody or privately to me or Michael, and we can get that set up for you. I already posted the worksheet in Freedom Fighters under files, and I've already recorded the video. I've not yet posted the video, though. That will be posted shortly after this call. So anyways, without further ado, today's assignment, Mike, do you have it pulled up, or should we go ahead and share our screen?
You guys can do it, babe.
Okay.
And honey, but while you guys are looking for that, let me just say something really quick.
Sure.
Guys, please, one of you guys, you know what? I don't care if it's another leader that's already done it. There's people that need to stretch themselves and do one of these lessons. You're just going to need to enlarge. There you go. That needs to do this lesson. So don't be afraid to step up and do this lesson. I told Lisa, and I said this earlier, I want to put in between now and the summer of 2020, I want to put 15 to 20 of my own new people and create more leaders. I want to help Julia create 5 to 10 leaders, right? I want to help Fred and Beth and Destiny and Chris create. Guys, there's people, and Chris and I had this conversation this week. There's 2 of Chris's leaders that came to me and said, hey, I'm completely 100% sold out to doing this the right way. And you know what? I don't see them on this call tonight. And I'm not singling them out. I'm just saying that you're not completely committed until you step out of your comfort zone and do it. So I'm going to let the girls take this, and I'm going to mute this and stop my.
Sure. So anyways, thank you, honey, for that. And this week's homework, so to speak, was the second part of John Maxwell's, newest book for network marketers, The Power of 5. And this was part 2 of his first power. Number 1 was growth. Growth matters. And so that was broken up into 2 steps. So today was Julia's turn as a rubber band being stretched. But if you think about that rubber band, when you pull back that rubber band and stretch it, it flies when you let it go. And that's what she's going to do. So she's still in that, let's stretch a little bit more before she's ready to be launched and flown. So this is part 1 of her takeoff. So go for it, hon.
Okay, guys. First, I thank God that all that mixed up happened, because now that I have to really speak, my friend is beside me. So God knew why that mixed up were regarding the video 2 weeks ago, and the paper, whatever it was done, so I couldn't do it before. But she said, we are going to talk today about the growth. And one of the things that John Maxwell says that said in the video is that we have to have a plan for growth. So we have to be intentionally, like somebody that we know says always, intentionally grow. And one of the parts that he speaks a lot, you see him, it's about we need to read. We need to read books. And I used to read more than I have done lately. And listen not just John Maxwell, but other motivators like him. It's just like getting me more. It's like, oh, I really need to get back to the reading book that will help me to grow. And like one of the points is that the fact that growth matters is a certainty. We need to, like I said, be intentional to grow. And in my investment in growth is my silent investment that shows up. Sometimes we want something that we will see and we will be active to do it, but this is so true. It's my silent investment in myself. It's maybe not something that is going to show immediately, but it's going to show up with time. And I've been friends, and I have shared this with all of you, that with Lisa for I think 13 years, and for with Mike maybe 11 years. But I can testify on that, how has been that silent growth in Lisa and also in Mike. And I can say more in Mike is more obvious. So that is
that's because I didn't have as far to grow.
yes. Yes. But both of them have grown, and that is just,
Yes,
it just
very true.
it just has it has been for me an example. I was like, I got stuck in some level, and then I just, like we were just talking, we have learned a lot of things at the same time, but Lisa has learned to apply, and I didn't, for personal situations, but that's why I'm speaking right now, because
She's
I need
applying.
to break that. Okay, so one of the things that John Maxwell said is that there is not a group of people that helps people grow more than network marketing organizations. And I have never been part of a network marketing before like this. And even though I have been part of a church, then in church you usually grow, I have never even in church experienced what I'm experiencing now.
So true.
In this group. This last month, because most of you know that I haven't joined too long ago, but everything that I've been learning there, when I went to Kansas, all the teaching is just like, it has been kind of like an eye opener for me to grow and to better myself. So I think we should be proud to be part of a great organization and a great network marketing organization. And we can just focus in growing ourselves and then grow our business. Let me see, I'm sorry.
While you review, I'm just going to interject one quick thing that I wrote down that he said was always making sure your team will grow and get better. That's only going to happen when you are yourself intentionally growing to get better. Yeah. So your team can't grow unless the leader of the team grows. So I wanted to just kind of say something.
Can I interject something, Julia?
Yeah.
One of the good things that I like guys, just I'm so proud of her, because I know that this is something that is really stretching her. But one of the things I learned when I was watching her go back over the notes today is that there was something that John said, and Julia paused it and wrote some notes about, and it was in this part here about how if we are not growing and learning how other people perceive what we're doing, like if it can't be about us, right? It has to be about the other people, right? We can't, if somebody tells us we're doing something wrong and that's affecting them, then we have to make sure that we are either, number one, not wanting this more for them than they want it for themselves, and that we're leading from a position of really just investing in them. So that was great what Lisa said. So I just wanted to throw that in.
Thank you. Yeah, one of the main things, like I said, he even said that in the last 5 days he read 2 books, and he said that people need to desire to get better, and to grow, and those that are not going to do their part are going to be left behind. And that is a choice, a personal choice that we have to make. And that's so true. Like if I'm not going to go along with them and I'm just not going to do my part, I'm going to be left behind. So it's my personal choice. And either if they are in the call or they are not in the call, because sometimes like the last 2 weeks for me it was hard to be in the call and I really miss that. But I think we need to do the best in our ability to keep pressing on and to grow. So we're going to the part, a growth environment is a place where others are ahead of you. And this is the part that we do better when we have better people around us. Like we read books or the people that we associate. And he said that we should never be in a place that we are the best, that we should always be in a place where people are better than us so we can learn from them. But there's something that he gave an example about R.G. Lee in a meeting that he had years ago when he was a pastor of a church, and he didn't want to speak because he felt less than R.G. Lee, and he just wanted to listen to the speaker. And but R.G. Lee said, no, you came to do something here. You are going to do it, and I'm going to learn from him. And after he finished, R.G. Lee came and told him, this is what I learned, and I'm going to apply it. And I think that is a true leader. And that is like, he was in front of somebody that it was better, but that person, even though it was better, he was humble enough to receive from somebody that supposedly it wasn't in the same growth that R.G. Lee. For me, that part of being humble and being honest is very, very, very important. And that is one of the things that he even speaks, that we need to show ourselves our weakness. We need to speak about our weaknesses. Nobody has everything together. And then when we are transparent, people even accept us better than
Yes.
when we think that, oh, I have everything together. That's not the way to present ourselves. He says that better people will make us better, lesser people will make us less, or average people will make us average. So we need to choose people that we relate. It's not like we reject the other people, but the people that we are going to be surrounding on a daily basis, it has to be people that will make us better. Where failure is your friend. Point B. And that is where he said that he learned from Ogmandino when he was young, and he read the book, that Ogmandino helped him to know that he will fail and he can learn from his failures and he can get back up. In other words, he's like, shake off your mistakes. Don't look back too much in your mistake. And but we need to learn from their mistakes, so we will know our limits, because without an occasional failure, we will not know our limits. But we should never quit, and we will, and our turn will come. So, and he said, wow, and I just wrote the wow, because yeah, we need to learn, accept our mistakes, don't dwell in them for too long, but learn from there, because we know from them we can grow more. Talk about our mistakes is exactly what I was just saying, that he just like be transparent, and if we make mistakes, accept, be humble, and think that people want somebody that walks along with them and not somebody who think that are better than them. Because we tend, at least me, I just tend like to shut up and just put a wall. I'm like, I don't like you. Don't want to know nothing about you. Kind of like it's too extreme, but I guess I need to change that too. He talks where others are growing, you will benefit greatly by understand. Where others are growing, you will benefit greatly by being surrounded by others who are outgrowing yesterday and growing into tomorrow, outgrowing all expectations and growing into new expectations, outgrowing past wins and growing into new victories, outgrowing average relationships and growing into better relationships, outgrowing what was and growing into what could be, outgrowing their old selves and growing into their new selves. In other words, it's like what it happened yesterday is good, but we can grow better into tomorrow. The expectations that we had today, tomorrow will become old expectations, but we can grow into new expectations. Past wins, they are nice, but they are past. We can grow into new victories. And the same with relations. We just talk about that. Just average relationships will make us average, and we want better relationships. Mm-hmm. So we always need to look for those better relationships with the people that are doing better than us, and they are an example for us. And outgrowing what was and growing into what could be. Faith. Mm-hmm. That is faith. It's just know what we see, know what we can maybe sometimes see with our eyes in this moment, or what circumstances were, but just speaking. And we heard today, and we were just talking with Mike and Lisa regarding that we need to speak. The Bible said the power of life and death are in the power of in the tongue. So if we speak, oh, I don't have money, oh, I'm sick, oh, I cannot do that. And I've been really good in saying that, believe me. So, but now I'm saying, I write it down and I'm saying, I can do it. Mm-hmm. I can do all things in Christ who strengthens me. Yes. So I'm just stepping out and just believing that I can do it. So by faith, and I'm believing that I will get to Pro 3 and to Pro 7. I'm speaking to that, even though it has been hard for me.
Thoughts become...
Hey, Julia.
Yeah?
Before you go on to the last one, tell them what you do in your bathroom to encourage yourself, and on your bedroom, what you put on your things.
I'm like, that's really personal, honey.
Not really. Not really.
No, I know.
No, he I know not in my bathroom, but in the bedroom.
In her bedroom, on her mirror.
I have some sticky notes that I wrote it down regarding myself. Like, I am more than enough. I have even some stuff that are not there, but I have in my Bible that I read every day. That I am what God says that I am. I am a princess. I am smart. I am good. I can speak with anyone. I don't have fear. So I'm doing that. I'm just really doing that so I can break that whole old thoughts or habits and lies of the enemy.
Man,
that have been holding me back. And
awesome.
Old selves and growing to their new selves. That's basically what we and I am doing right now. I'm just like, I don't want my old self has died. I am a new creation. I have new thoughts. I have a new life, and I think what I said, when we speak the truth of what God says we are, I think we are going to walk the way that He wants us to walk, right. And in victory, in blessings, we are going to attract those better relationships.
Very true. And it's like that old quote, watch your thoughts, because thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, habits become your character, and your character will form your destiny. So what is it that you're speaking out of your mouth? Mm-hmm. You know? And then one other thing I kind of wanted to expound upon a little bit was John Maxwell said that, I think he's the one that actually said it. It may have been him or it may have been R.G. Lee. But basically, if you want to know where you're going to be in 5 years, take a look at the books you're reading right now and the people you're associated with right now. So if you are associating yourself with those, quote, better, more educated people that you're going to learn from, that's who you're going to become. If you are associating with the average person, you can't grow. You're going to remain average, like he said.
100%.
So,
and that doesn't mean you have to be around a pro 10 or a pro 9. It doesn't. That. Let me explain something to you. In this business, Lisa and I can tell you, pro 10s disappear in this business, right? We've seen 1, 2, 3. We've seen 3 disappear in this business, right? 3. Okay. Makes no sense, right? So that's why I really took a lot away from what they were saying in this message here, because I'm totally about living by faith. And I know that there's people on here right now that are watching that are leaders, some that are elites, some that are pro 4s and pro 3s that have wanted to quit because of their upline or somebody else just really, and you know what they did? They said, I'm going to grow from this. I'm going to move and I'm going to become that person that I was called to be. And I'm not going to, and really it goes back, and it was funny. It goes back to just the having that fear of worrying about what other people think, right? It changing and being in a new group. Like, it's really funny. Like, even with next week, this week coming up being building depth, like Lisa and I and Julia were just talking about this. Like we were all in Kansas City and all of the new rank advancements, except for one, came from building depth, right? But yet people don't have an understanding that that's what this company was built on, right? And you know what's happened with this, and it happens in every network marketing company, is that there becomes too many chiefs and not enough Indians, right? There's too many people connecting with the wrong people. And the next thing you know, that person's gone. And then they're in this next company. And then it's the compensation plan. And then it's this. And then it's that. And you see some very solid people leave this company because they just followed somebody that, like Julia said, that didn't match up with who they wanted to follow. And they never said, you know what? I'm going to find somebody that I relate to, somebody that I can follow, somebody that's not going to take me down one rabbit hole and then take me down another and then take me down another. That's one of the things that I like that's changed with us. Praise God for creating one of our personal enrollments became a Pro 3 this month. It is almost every single month this year, we've created a new Pro 3, and I realize that still doesn't get you to where you want to go. It's teaching their new people to create Pro 3s, right? So just creating a Pro 3, like Julia said, she wants to create things. Well, I want to help the people that Julia brings into this business create leaders. So John always says, leaders upon leaders helps you become a more solid leader because you're helping develop other leaders, right? And like this teaching here today was perfect for me because I have a tendency to look at my situation of where I'm at and just say, I made my bed, I got to lie in it, instead of saying, no, this is just a season. I'm moving forward. I'm speaking life and not death. A lot of you guys speak life. Oh, I'm too busy. Oh, my job sucks. Oh, this. You know what? That everybody has those, right? Everybody has those. So let me just unmute. If there's anybody that wants to unmute to make a comment or say something that they took away from this, I pray that you guys are going back and doing these lessons. If you haven't got the book, you need to get the book. I'm telling you, get the book. It's in the LV Freedom Fighters group. You can get the book. Get the book, guys. You're going to read it 2 or 3 times, maybe 5 times over your network marketing career. I don't know about you guys, but it has impacted me from a personal growth standpoint. Like being in a different environment, creating my own positive environment, right? So anybody want to comment, unmute themselves, make a comment. Maybe somebody. Oh, you have to share, Julia? Go ahead.
I do actually. Yeah.
Okay.
On that whole thing, like John Maxwell closed out his video basically saying your future, as far as your potential goes, is not based on your network marketing company. It's not based on your network marketing organization that you belong to. It is based on your commitment, no matter where you're at, no matter who you're with, no matter what you're doing. Your commitment is to growing daily and getting better. Then you'll be successful. So because you were just talking about that with, organizations and people wanting to quit and everything, I thought that was a pretty powerful statement that he said. It really is irrelevant. We are kind of all biased about our particular network marketing company for obvious reasons, but there are other people and other companies that are highly successful, and it's not necessarily because they were in that company. It was because of their commitment to grow daily, regardless of where, who, or what was going on in life as life was happening.
That's good. That's really good. Does anybody else want to make a comment or say something based on what they might have learned from the video or from Julia's teaching or from Lisa or myself that you want to make a comment and stay? Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Tracy, Julia, you did an awesome job. Thank you very, very much for sharing. Question, well, two things. Always more than one. Question, I had a challenge, and we'll use the word challenge. In the book, I could not find the first one, growth matters is a certainty, and the answer was silence. Do you guys know what page that was on? Am I missing something?
No, Tracy, I'll talk to you. I'll show you the flow of how the book goes. You and I will talk about it offline. It's
okay.
What the book goes to and what the videos do.
These PDFs are designed to go from the video.
The videos.
Okay.
Not the book.
Okay, and then
the book kind of complements it.
And
what I want it.
And what I wanted to say about failure is it writes in here on and on and on about failure, but failure is your friend. And I just want to point out that a child doesn't walk when it's born. A child learns to walk, and a child falls down over and over and over and over again. And unless that child has some kind of condition where they can't get up and walk, they will walk until they can. So I believe the last 24 months in my life in this business has been a learning process, and I believe I have failed over and over and over again, but by being in this team and this calls, I have grown, and I am going to run, and I'm going to eventually fly with the Eagles.
Amen.
Just because of you guys. So thank you.
Awesome. Beth said the same thing. Hey, anybody else? Unmute yourself and make a comment, or maybe.
Hey guys.
Yeah, Mike.
Who is it?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Destiny, you go first. Or Chris.
Yeah, ladies before gentlemen. Go ahead, Destiny.
Ladies first. Go ahead, Destiny.
Okay. Well, I just have a couple things. So first of all, you guys, Beth Balk is ridiculous. She is on fire. I'm telling you, I witnessed it this week. We've got a meeting tomorrow with one of Fred's prospects, one of mine, that I've just been kind of piddling around with one of them. And Beth, her persistence and her passion about getting them to a meeting with us, I mean, she was crazy. I mean, it happened so fast and it was so perfect. And it's contagious. So,
Amen. Amen.
So proud of her. And then the other thing is, so going back, you guys were talking about, being vulnerable. So this is going to be a vulnerability moment. I'm not going to lie. I went to therapy this week and went through guided visualization, hypnosis to get through going to talk to someone about this. I did it though. In the end, I literally did it. So you guys don't have to go to therapy, but if you're having any trouble with your limiting beliefs or your, just think, my problem is myself. I have no problem. I'm so passionate about this product and this company and this opportunity. But I'm my biggest enemy. I guess I hold myself back so much. And, but going through visualizing best case and worst case scenario, following it through to the very, very end, of what could happen, literally in the end, it's still okay. So, it was fine.
Yeah.
And, it was actually really great. And that just lit me up. And I ended up going to talk to, so this is my boyfriend's dad, a chiropractor. So talked to him. It was great. We're following up tomorrow, I think. And then I ended up going and talking to 3 hairdressers and actually made a call off my chicken list last night.
Good for you, Destiny.
Yeah. So
good for you.
Yeah, just getting that one out of the way. I'm good.
Virtual high five.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, yes, Destiny, let me encourage you on one thing. You go back to talking to the doctor.
Yeah.
I'm going to text you Dr. Huey's number to see if he's available, and I'll give you a couple. You always, once you've got beyond that and you've built that rapport with him, next thing is to get another person that speaks his language.
Right. Well, and so one thing I needed to reach out to you guys about is if anybody knows anything about Juice Plus. So this is where he was involved with them, and he just never really went anywhere with it. And so one thing I did mention to him is that you don't have to keep any of the product in your office. So he was talking about the markup, and it's a multi-level marketing. You have to mark it up so much, and I remembered to go back and tell him, well, you don't have to keep any inventory. So, but other than
Where's
that,
he located? Where's he located?
Loganville,
Okay.
Georgia. So,
so he's right there.
If anybody knows anything about like how that business model is structured in comparison, ours is better. Okay, perfect. Okay, well, I'll need to talk to you and maybe
you know what? If you can't reach John, put me on the phone with him.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll set that up tomorrow then. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. And I just wanted to, now that you were vulnerable and said that, there's a ton of comments. There's a ton of great comments. You should probably.
Yeah. Oh, I see them now.
and I just want to commend Destiny because she's constantly in contact with Lisa and I. I think she's in more contact now because we have a tendency to we love that, and I think that's what you'll see growth in her. You'll see her hit Pro 3 next. And, and then beyond, she sends me videos all the time, and I love it because constantly researching and encouraging herself. And I would say that probably one of the biggest things about being involved in this business is that how you find people that encourage you. You're constantly repetitively using those systems and techniques to encourage yourself.
Exactly.
Like watching this video that she sent me encouraged me, but I bet it encouraged her too because she's the one that's right. So I
don't want to be one of those people that gets stuck just doing the education stuff though, but I do Julia, so the thing that you do to reassure yourself and telling yourself that you are good enough. So I have a morning mindset playlist on YouTube, and I listen to I am affirmations every morning, and my whole household thinks I'm crazy. I'm a lunatic because I'm walking around, I am prosperous, but I don't care. I just say it with a smile. It's awesome. So
I'm so glad you did that because you know what my wife does? My wife every morning puts on the full armor of God.
Yep.
And as she's getting dressed, she's like putting it on and talking about it. And so I think that's awesome. You guys have super encouraged me tonight because I'm in a place I've never been in my life before. And I'm more encouraged now than I've ever been encouraged by just listening to you guys. And so I think it's great when we only have 10 people on here rather than 30. It seems like it's more powerful. So thank you. Chris, why don't you go ahead next?
Yeah. Hey, Julia, great job tonight. Tracy, you did a fantastic job. I love seeing all you guys get into the mix and start to get yourself involved in these teachings. It's going to help build you more and more and give you a lot more confidence. And Destiny, worst case scenario is never sharing the information. Best case scenario is no and yes. Because I will tell you, a no is not a no forever, because I have so many people coming back to me now, even though it's been 3 years, asking me about the product and buying the product. people that actually laughed at me about this, people that said this is never going to go anywhere, these products don't work, they're all the same, are now buying it and are now monthly customers. So just always share that information. Don't ever worry if it's a yes or no. And you'll never know when they're going to come back to you and need something, or might hear something down the road and say, hey, I remember Destiny telling me something about that. Maybe I should get some more information from her. So, but great job to you guys for doing everything you're doing. And one of the things that I saw on that list that you guys had on the paper near the bottom was getting past your wins and moving on to new victories. I feel like so many times we get stuck. Once we get a new distributor, we get this like breath of fresh air, like, I got a new distributor. I can work with this distributor. I can do this. And you kind of sit on that victory too long and you don't continue to move forward, or you get a couple new customers and you sit on those wins for a while. And the next thing you know, you're 2-3 months in the hole, struggling to get back at it again. I definitely have learned from that, where this month we've landed 3 new customers. I got 2 people on the verge, and I'm just going to keep pumping that pipeline. Grant Cardone said the reason you don't close and you're not good at closing is because you never keep your pipeline filled. And I tell you that I'm going to celebrate the victory short and move on to new ones quicker. That's all I wanted to say.
That's exactly.
Wow, thank you.
Chris. And on that note, John Maxwell was saying that past wins don't make you a leader. Past wins are history makers. Ongoing growth, new victories, new wins, new trainings make you a leader. So thank you for bringing that up, because I wanted to say.
You're welcome.
Good job. Anybody else? There's some other people in there that haven't talked yet. There were some people that were, all right. So there was some people on here that were on a trip last week in one of my favorite places. I wish I was with them. Does she want to talk about the trip that she was on last week, or make a comment or anything? Nope.
Hey.
How was your trip? Tell us about your trip.
Oh, you guys, it was probably one of the best trips that LifeVantage has done. It was amazing. It was a little cooler there. I was a little bit sun deprived, so I was pretty happy to come home and sit on the deck in the sunshine. But it is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. It's so green and lush, and everyone's just so kind. It was awesome. If you ever have a chance to go to Ireland, I highly recommend it.
Awesome. I actually just said the reason why I made you speak up is because I think you're the only one that I didn't see any pictures of, and maybe I just didn't look on Instagram or whatever, but I was like, I didn't see any of Laurie's pictures. Maybe she'll share some of them this week. Pictures?
Yeah, I have a bunch on my Facebook.
Okay, I'll have to go back and look because I didn't see them, but cool. Anybody else want to share? Does anybody else want to take the lesson for next week? Anybody want to take the lesson? I'll do it, but it's not
Make Q do it.
I wish I could. You think he'd do it? What do you think?
Let's reach out to him.
All right. I muted everybody, Chris, because somebody was in the background.
Or Fred.
Fred would be great at doing it.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Fred?
Either Fred or Beth, or them as a team.
Yes,
Yeah,
them as a team would be a great
What's
idea.
up, Fred?
Challenging you guys.
We have a trip on next week. So
Huh?
we have a trip on next week and you'll be there.
Yeah, I'm going to be there too, remember? It doesn't go on Sunday night. It's just going to be you, me, and Fred.
Can we do it next Sunday, not this coming Sunday?
I'll do it then. I'll be with you guys, so we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll get Q to do it. Well, we'll figure it out, guys. Does anybody else want to make a comment or share anything else before we go?
I have want to say something about the
Go ahead.
uh, we are on Life Vantage that I know. The reason I grow because of the people they know. So referrals. So do not limit the people you know. There's somebody they know. Oh,
Okay, lean in there and say it one more time really loud because I could barely hear you. Are you still there, Beth?
yes. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Just lean a little bit closer to the microphone so we can hear you.
I can say that do not limit yourself to the people you know, because the people you know, there's somebody they know. And the reason why we go to Pro 3 is because referrals. So, and one thing more, do not attach your feelings to the outcome. Just keep do it, share. So just keep going
Awesome.
for the numbers.
And you know, I just want to commend before we go. I just want to commend Beth because you guys know their story. They were in Life Vantage for a many 5 or 6 years, and Beth wanted nothing to do with this. And now she's super passionate. You just heard what Destiny said about her. Lisa and I've been talking about it for a couple of days now, and I'm super excited. I say that she has stepped into a leadership role, and I know her and Brett are going to be with me at Building Depth this coming week. For those of you who've never went, you're missing it. I don't care how hard it is for you to get there. We're probably going to have 500 or 600 people there this weekend. And so, guys, I hope that Tuesday night, we'll post the stuff, but I believe there's a Building Depth call on Tuesday night. Isn't there, honey, or no?
Yeah, I think so. First and third.
Yeah. So
No, I
there
thought
will be
it was,
one.
it was the first Tuesday? I thought it was second Tuesday.
Is it? We'll figure it out. We'll post it in the group.
Thanks.
We'll post it in the group.
I want to add something more, Mike.
Go ahead.
Really, that year's 2013 until I think now, so much years that I have to grow. And one thing that the barriers is the communications that I need to develop. I'm so afraid to talk to people, and everything I got knows. I really take it seriously. No, now I know that in this career, no is just meaning not today. There's so many issues that they have in their life. So just keep going. Never attach your feelings, and then I should have a goal. Should be this month I need to reach this volume, and then there is, of course, with prayers. And then once you learn that, you're gonna be unstoppable when you overcome your fear.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. That just encouraged me. So,
Beth, are you
guys-
Beth? Are you signed up with Fred, or is it just Fred? And you're just helping him work the business. Because if you're not signed up under Fred, I'll sign you up. Just saying.
Nice try, Chris.
Nice try, Chris. Guys, thank you so much, everybody, for being on the call. I hope you guys will encourage more people to be on and experience what we all just experienced tonight, because this was awesome. It was awesome to see so much growth on this call tonight with Beth and Julia and just everybody. Like, it's awesome.
Destiny.
And Destiny.
And Destiny, yeah, absolutely. All you guys. So,
Even Laura Lee was
yeah.
right. She said it's about the same topic as Destiny did too. So
Yeah.
that's like awesome for everybody.
Yeah, major confirmation for things. So, guys, we will see you next Sunday. I will be at Building Depth, but I'll still be on the call. So,
Thanks, everybody.
I love you guys. Have a good week, guys. Remember, you can back it till the 3rd. So, if you need something, let me know.
And yes, it is first and third Tuesday for the Building Depth calls.
I got 2 people, Destiny and